Hello, sorry about that. I was having my evening meal, so apologies, I had to turn the sound off. Apparently there is an unalived animal carcass entering turn 10. Oh. Of course, Piastri has not pitted yet, from what I can see from the graphics. Russell, Verstappen, Antonelli, and Hadjar all pitted. Only 4 cars pitting. We're getting another pit stop. Is that Hamilton? Yep. Alonso's pitted too. Just very sad news about another animal welfare casualty there. I don't know what it is with Montreal, but it does seem to have a problem with like wild animals entering the track unannounced and risking their lives, because this circuit is situated next to a lake and some trees nearby, so it's a weird one. Piastri's pitted. That means Norris will become the provisional race leader. Norris better get a move on now, because honestly, Singapore, he's only less than 7 seconds ahead of Russell. That's pretty worrying, to say the least. Our drivers having started the race on hard tyres, and it looks like everyone's switching onto the mediums about just 17 laps into the race, everyone, and we've still got 53 to go. Of course, next year I will not be doing a live stream for the Canadian Grand Prix, because I'll be watching the Indy 500 instead. And if any of you want to update me on what's going on in the Canadian Grand Prix, you will be free to do so. However, of course, if you mention the Club World Cup, it's a 60-second penalty. And if you mention it 3 times, it's 5 minutes in the sin bin for you. Purple sector 1 for Norris. What's that? I mean, Russell's got the fastest lap so far of 15.8. Going about 5 seconds slower than he did in qualifying, mind you. That was the best lap of a 16.3 for Norris. Not exactly staggeringly quick. I mean, Leclerc takes about almost 3/10 of a second away from him. 2026 calendar looks abysmal, in my opinion. It is just marketing warfare from Liberty Media against the Indy 500. Max is maintaining a 2.3 second gap between himself and Russell in front of him. Today's having a good race. Albon, Norris, Leclerc, Hulkenberg still yet to beat. Hulkenberg is having yet another staggeringly good performance. Ocon still yet to pit, obviously. Because truth be told, Haas have got the slowest car in F1 right now. Hamilton's pitted. Did it? Alonso is down in 18th place, which is quite interesting. It makes you wonder what's going on with Aston Martin again. But Behrman goes to the pits and he drops right down the order. Did he pit? No, you're going for taken by Alonso. I beg your pardon. Oh no, yeah, Behrman does pit. Sainz is still yet to pit. Of course, after Hulkenberg pits, Hulkenberg comes back out down in 17th. Oof. Piastri's on a fast one. Yep. As it stands, it looks like Piastri's going to finish 4th today. Looks like Will F1's agenda against the Papaya boys is going to be strengthened heavily. I still think Piastri has narrowly been the best driver on the grid so far this season, but today has not been a good weekend for anyone at McLaren. And, you know, for all the pre-race talk of fireworks between Max and George, Max has decided he would rather behave himself and avoid getting a race ban, despite being 49 points behind the championship leader, Oscar Piastri. That doesn't bother me. Well, yeah, because of course, I mean, as long as Piastri doesn't do anything stupid for the rest of this season, he should just about win the championship. To be honest, unless of course he keeps finishing 4th and 5th all the time, which case would become a bit worrying towards the end of the season. Gasly is down in 16th place after starting a pit lane due to breaking Paul Fermi regulations. Alonso surely will be demanding his team to let Stroll past. Although it has to be said, Stroll, of course, Alonso's fastest lap is a 16.37 compared to Oscar's fastest lap of a 15.57. And of course, team orders have come into play at Aston Martin, like I predicted. Up to 13th we go for Alonso. Tsunoda, Bottas. Oh, Tsunoda is in absolute horrible trouble, not just at Red Bull, but for his F1 career in general. After having bored myself from watching that under-21s game between England and Slovenia, this is very... just feels like today is a slow June afternoon, doesn't it? I mean, we were spoiled in the last 6 races. No, we were spoiled in the last 6 laps of the Spanish Grand Prix last time out, thanks to Red Bull and Verstappen's shenanigans. Why the hell Red Bull decided to put Max on hard tyres, I don't know. Crazy, weird decision. Well, apparently Yuki Tsunoda's out gaining on Carlos Sainz in front of him, but still a lot of drivers yet to pit. Of course, Norris, Leclerc up front. I don't know what I mean, okay, they're doing pretty well to stretch their tyres out for this long, but I think everyone's going to be doing at least a 2-stop today, so it feels like a slow burner, doesn't it? Feels like you want something to happen immediately, but it's just not happening because everybody is doing strategy. Bottas, 11, still yet to pit. Stroll, why is he even on track? Gasly, the lowest of all the cars are still yet to pit. God, great. Todd, get past Lawson, please, Gasly, and get rid of Stroll while you're at it. Oh, my. Oh, thank you for ruining my chat. Sorry about this. I must. Oh, geez, I don't know what it is. It happened during the Indianapolis 500, and it's happened again. It even interrupted my football stream, so what should that tell you? It's like... Sorry about that. Sorry, I apologise. Hold my hands up for that interruption from that absolute bot causing havoc again. I also have this other complaint with YouTube and Google, is that when you remove an account from a tablet, they'll keep popping up this message saying there was a problem signing into your account, but it's like, I just removed my account from the tablet. Like, stop pretending that you lost access to my account because I removed it on purpose. Goodness me, this race is dragging on quite a fair bit. Alonso now up to 11th place. Goodness me, Tsunoda, mate. How the hell have you got Alonso on your tail? Like, oh my God, Tsunoda is... Red Bull have got a real headache on their hands with the number 2 seat. To be fair, I mean, if Red Bull could actually make a drivable car for the number 2 driver, maybe things could improve there, but doesn't seem like an actual priority for the boys at Milton Keynes. Albon has pitted. He's going to drop miles down the order. I'm getting the same annoying pop-up message on my tablet. And he goes down to last place. Bottling qualifying yet again, just like he did at Monaco. I don't know what it is with Albon at times, but he can be so inconsistent. Gotta say, Norris is doing very well to look after these hard tyres, and so is Leclerc, because of course Russell and Verstappen don't seem to be able to close them down as quickly as I thought they would. 25 laps into the race, mind you. Of course, Russell, Verstappen, Antonelli pitted about 10 laps ago, mind you, so it's taken quite a long time to reach the back end of Norris and Leclerc. Why can't something happen? Why can't we have a safety car or make it stop raining? I have to say, Canada is not the most exciting track under the hybrid regulations these days. Wait, something happened to Russell. Let's look at Hamilton's lap times. It's Hamilton's fastest lap has been almost 6/10 of a second slower than Leclerc. Oh dear. Fastest lap now goes back to Russell, 15.56. Stroll, where's Stroll? Oh yeah, Stroll. Oh yeah, Stroll's just pitted. Looks like Stroll could well be finding himself holding up Albon for this race. And I know Stroll, he's probably just going to wave out and pass, isn't he? to be fair, I mean, if Stroll really wanted to think about the team, he would just go and leave F1 ASAP. And Russell has overtaken Leclerc for second place on the road. And that should be a warning sign to Lando Norris. Trying to look at lap times. It's a 15.3 for Russell, new fastest lap. Flying on these hard tyres, and of course he's going a second quicker than both Norris and Leclerc now. So Norris, I think, is going to have to think quick. Should he pit or should he try and stay out and hold up Russell and try and impede Russell and with Verstappen's progress? As a purple sector one there for Antonelli, who's now flying as well on the hard tyres. I think Antonelli also sets a personal best for Sector 2. Antonelli's now closing in on the action, and he's about less than 10 seconds behind Norris. Quack, quacker, quicker, quacker, quack, 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 quack. Hey, by the way, there used to be a side-up Pokemon toy in my collection, so... I mean, to be fair, when it starts raining here at Montreal, the ducks like to come out for a quick swim. DRS for Gasly on Lawson. Did he get past him? No, he didn't. Ugh. Can't wait for Alpine to get a Mercedes-Benz strapped to the back of that car next year. And our Canadians labelling Lance Stroll as our national embarrassment. We're so sorry. Norris is now really holding up the pack. Verstappen has dropped off slightly to give himself a bit of try and give his a bit of breathing space from the dirty air. Did Leclerc just pit? I think Leclerc's pitted, yeah. Yes, of course, rest in peace to the 11 people who passed away in a Graz shooting earlier this week. I mentioned it twice on my channel, on Chaz's channel, so... And of course, rest in peace to the 240-odd people who also lost their lives in the Air India crash, which was supposed to land in Gatwick, London. Very sad news, but Leclerc has now comes out in front of Hamilton. My God, Hamilton will be so embarrassed to see Leclerc with 5 seconds in his pocket over the 7-time champion on the road. Oh dear, and by the way, Leclerc did 28 laps on the hards. Let's say Russell, Verstappen, both pitted after 16 laps. Leclerc's managed to sneak out in front of Hamilton, despite the fact that Leclerc just tried to squeeze as much life out of his hard tyres as humanly possible. That is embarrassing for Lewis. Lewis will be kicking himself inside his cockpit. I think it's getting a bit loud down here, to be honest. Yeah, hello there, Eagle Eggs. I would love to have a safety car just as much as everyone in the chat. It's not the most stimulating race. Welcome to Crystal Racing, Eagle Eggs. Sorry for the noise. Norris has come out just behind Piastri. Yes, Piastri's actually doing a good job looking after his tyres. And it's the purple sector 1 for Piastri there. Very good performance from the young Australian. Only his 3rd year of F1. Someone needs to take one for the team. Yeah, I think Norris should take one for McLaren. Hold those Ferraris up. But remarkably, despite the fact McLaren have got a faster car this year, I mean, it looks like we might see both McLarens miss out on the podium today. Canada can be a funny track at times. Oh, the safety car. Okay, you're talking about the safety car. Fair enough. I mean, anything would make this race exciting at this point. Maybe a Stroll doing a mountain order at some point on someone. Stroll really needs to take one for the sport right now. Just cause a safety car for no reason. My goodness me, we were all complaining about Monaco being hard to overtake on, but turns out Montreal is little better. And don't you worry, folks, next year we will be replacing Imola with a Madrid street track, which looks like a replica of the old American Detroit circuit from the 1980s, which is... Yeah, thank you. I mean, Eagle Eggs, thank you for the suggestion of a safety car, because, my goodness me, is this dull? Is this race dull? Grosjean or Maldonado, yeah, someone just do something daft for a laugh. Unfortunately, of course, these are professional racing drivers who actually, most of them actually deserve to be on here on merit deals. Even Lance Stroll has a Formula 3 title to his name, so even he's not a moron at this level. And by the way, both Grosjean and Maldonado won a GP2 titles in their junior career, so even they were not idiots by any stretch of the imagination, but they were a tad aggressive behind the wheel, let's just say, when they were in F1. And normality resumes. Russell, Verstappen, Antonelli lead the race. Alonso doing his best dad impression despite not having any children of his own. He's gone up into the points. Behind his old beer pal, Carlos Sainz, who is something who's still yet to pit along with Ocon. Can someone, yes, Kid Water champions, Schumacher, Villeneuve, Jenson Button have all hit the wall of champions. Lance Stroll hit the wall of champions in practice. Who else? Saito? No. Damon Hill did it in 1999. I beg your pardon, I think. I think even Fernando Alonso hit the wall of champions in 2005. Or was it the other part of the circuit? I don't know, but my memory evades me severely. And as it stands, Andrea Kimi Antonelli could be on course to score his first ever podium in Formula 1 if he remains in third place. I don't know what the legal drinking age is in Canada, but south of the border in America, you must be at least 21 years old to order a drink of beer or alcohol at a pub or an off license. I don't know if the same applies in Canada. Antonelli living up to his name, middle name Kimi. But Piastri, obviously, will be keeping him very honest. Norris sets the new fastest lap of a 15.185. And he's there, purple sector 1. Norris out of nowhere, out of thin air, finding lap time again. Oh, yeah, it is 18 years old in Canada. One of the very few perks of living in Canada compared to America is that you can drink in public at a much younger age, if you desire. I don't know why the Americans are set it at the age of 21. I think that's just ridiculously stupid. Driver of the year. I do agree that Piastri is driver of the year because I think, okay, I know he does have a few limitations. He's not the best at qualifying, but he's only been in the sport for 2.5 years and he is doing very well in spite of his lack of experience. Don't tell that to win F1, but Norris, he's been there for now 7 years and he should be doing better than what I'm seeing. Although to be fair to Norris, he is saying new fastest laps because of his medium compounds and he's lowered his fastest lap to a 50.002. Seriously quick now, Norris. Norris is now only 6.6 behind Piastri. 6.3, I beg your pardon. It's getting quicker now. Almost everyone else, though, is on the hard compound. Spot my damn chair when you said that. I don't know why I have a knack of making you laugh out of nowhere, say. Thank you for 3 likes here at Crystal Racing, Crystal Rams. I don't know what I'm going to call the channel. Oh my goodness me. Our favourite bots have returned, everyone, to bless our timelines. That's another user banned from the channel. Look at these bots. They are finding very inventive ways of trying to get into trouble without even mentioning the FIFA Harambe Cup being held in the States right now, which is also the CONCACAF Gold Cup being held, which is also being held in America. The Americans are actually getting they're kind of being spoilt for anything football/soccer right now. We've got 2 major tournaments going on, one of which CONCACAF Gold Cup, a huge amount of history behind it. And then, of course, there's the FIFA Club World Cup, which is, I don't know what to say. I don't even know what to say, but it looks like, could we be getting team order for Alpine? Let's see. Oh, yeah, Colapinto and Gasly, yeah. Colapinto is now getting a hint. Gasly still yet to pay. Its hard tyres are 35 laps old, and he's doing some serious lap time. US Open, that's in September, mate. It's like it's in the Golf US Open. Okay, sorry, I got the wrong tournament. 14.96 for Norris. He's closing in fast on his Australian teammate, less than 6 seconds behind it, the championship leader. Come on, Colapinto, get out of the way. What are you doing, mate? What are you doing, lad? Get out of Gasly's way. Jeez, honestly, what is Colapinto doing? Like, started the race on the medium tyres, 19 laps old, and then got into the hard tyres, and his fastest lap of the race. A 16. Okay, he's done a best lap than Gasly, but I don't know what's going on. Colapinto is seriously holding up Gasly now. Gasly has looked after his tires far better than the Argentine driver has. Don't you? Of course, now that I slag Colapinto off, now I'm going to get some unfavourable threats on my life from some of his crazy fans, but hard tyres, and Alonso on 22-lap-old hard tyres. I was just let the say done. Verstappen, after his tyres falling off a little bit, he has dived into the pits, and he's going to try. And it's a second pit stop for the 4-time Dutch world champion, who goes and drops down to wherever the hell the Ferraris are, and it's a Mercedes 1-2 on track. Now we have an opportunity for Antonelli to really make up time on track with the clear air in front of him, but Piastri is caught on his heels. Maybe we'll get a safety car, who knows. We'll need someone to crash, though. We'll need someone to crash. I mean, in Formula 1 history, I think there's now Could be worse. You could have had the Top Gear trio being hated by Argentina. Yes, I know. I don't know. They were going to do a prank one, weren't they? I think they were going to do a car football Wade, and then they were told to leave the country. I remember that Top Gear episode so well. Just it's a purple sector 2 for Charles Leclerc. And Anthony's pitted. So Piastri can really push now. Leclerc fails to improve his best lap, however, but his best lap is a 15.05. Impressive pace from the Ferrari driver. And Stroll is absolutely annoying the living daylights out of Alex Albon at the back. He's annoying me, by the way, because of course, oh dear, oh yeah. Let me just look. Colin Pinto is holding up a train of cars behind him, and Lawson has managed to overtake Gasly. God, oh, Lawson now pits. I think it's time for... Look, Colin Pinto has got to get out of Gasly's way. Like, what is he doing? Get out of the way. If I was Flavio Briatore or whoever the hell talks on the intercoms at the pit wall, get Colin Pinto out of the way ASAP. It's unacceptable, mate. It's unacceptable. Alonso returns to P8 and the Ocon and Sainz. How long are they going to stretch these tyres out for? It's been 40 laps. Unbelievable. Absolutely amazing performance by Ocon and Sainz, despite how much criticism I've aimed in their direction. But if they pit now, they will fall down to the back of the pack behind Albon. So they're playing a very dangerous game, Ocon and Sainz. And Tsunoda, mind you. But Tsunoda is just horribly slow right now, considering the car he's driving, and he's only 8 seconds ahead of the Colapinto train. What the hell is going on Colapinto like? One moment he's quick, and then the next moment he's slow, and his best lap was a 16.225. I don't know what it says. Colapinto has a knack of finding speed out of nowhere, out of pure thin air. Hamilton down to 7th place. This is another miserable race for the Sep 2 Pool Ball champion. Has anyone said anything to me in the chat, by the way? Oh yeah, Robert Kubica won for the private AF course team, which makes it more funny. Even the factory Ferrari cannot get the job done in the Le Mans WEC series. Yuki trying to tame his a ball that cannot be tamed, indeed. But the ball has been designed for one man only. Maximilius Verstappenus. Russell Pitts. Where's Russell going to come out? I'm looking at the track map. Hamilton sucks. It's that simple. Don't feel sorry for Hamilton. He's just been absolutely awful again this weekend. And he comes out, Russell emerges 4.1 seconds ahead of the four-time champion in the Red Bull. Very good stop by Mercedes, and Russell on course to win the race, unless, of course, a safety car comes to ruin it. Oh, Ferrari tried to... Oh, right. Oh, yeah, Cupid's had to drive 9 hours in his victory today, so... yeah, you know, he's having to drive a private car along with the EFA and some random P driver no one's ever heard of called Phil Hansen. But yet he still won against all odds. Robert Kubica, a true legend of motorsport, without a doubt. You cannot take his name away from motorsport history anymore. He's got at least one of the Triple Crown at Le Mans, the other two being Indy 500 and Monaco. Obviously, he can't do Monaco because he's too old for F1 and his right hand is a mess. And as for Indy 500, I don't know whether he could handle a car with no power steering for 3.5 hours, but it's Robert Kubica we're talking about. He's the sort of man who is willing to take on any challenge, and he usually succeeds. And I've seen a few trolls saying that Yuki Tsunoda should be given driver of the day. I don't know what exactly, but he's been having a stinker. Having said that, the two RBs of Hadjar and Lawson are down in 15th and 20th. Oh, yeah, of course, Robert Kubica can aim for the Triple Crown of endurance racing. 12 hours of Sebring, the 24 hours of Daytona, I beg your pardon. And, of course, there's also other events like the 12 hours of Backburst, is it the 12... I can't remember what's it called now. Is it the 24 hours of Sport? Is that a GT race? I know there's the other WEC race at Sport, and then, of course, the 24 hours of Nürburgring, which is obviously a GT event. Plenty of endurance events for Kubica to have a crack at, but of course he's arguably won the biggest endurance race of the lot, the most prestigious, still in 124 hours, the one endurance race that every racing driver wants if they ever fancy a crack at long distance racing. And if he never wins another race again, then Kubica can retire a very happy man after today, and his Polish fans have finally got their day in the sun at long last. And then, of course, ye Faye fans can also be fairly satisfied at their man's effort as well. But my God, this race is absolute pants. The fastest lap of a 14.7 for Norris, who is now 3 seconds behind his teammate. This race absolutely sucks. It sucks. It is almost as bad as that England under-21 match I had to endure against Slovenia today. And of course, it is England we're talking about. And we all know England always have a couple of games when you stink out of place in the group stages, so it's nothing new anymore. Liam Lawson is absolute garbage. Don't know why he's still on the grid at this point. He should be farming kiwi fruits back home in New Zealand. Yeah, it's a shambles. It's an absolute shambles. And yet, Liberty Media want to have more street events in F1. Oh, look, our best friend is back, everyone. Our best friend is back. Wonderful to see you on the chat because you're getting banned. And amazingly, another bot that didn't mention the FIFA Humble tournament gets the chop. Piastri pits. I don't know where Piastri's going to come out, but he has come out in front of Antonelli. But of course, he's just overtaken him on track from what I've seen. Great overtake by Piastri to take fifth. Hamilton pits again. He comes back just in front of Alonso. Very lucky there by Hamilton. 40 seconds behind Norris now. That is shambolically bad by the 7-time champ. Some point, Leclerc must do another pit stop because he hasn't done a medium compound stint yet. Oh no, but Antonelli re-overtakes Piastri. Oh dear. For a moment I thought Piastri was in front, but then it turns out Antonelli never got overtaken. I think that's an incorrect reading by the scoreboard there. I beg your pardon. If Norris wants to continue on these medium tyres, he's entitled to because he started the hard tyres, but of course on this track, it's a 2-stop minimum. My God, Ocon and Sainz and Tsunoda are doing one Herculean job on those hard tyres. 46 laps now. Insane endurance on those tyres. I think a few WEC teams will be pretty impressed by Ocon, Sainz and Tsunoda's tyre preserving skills. Although Tsunoda is in a Red Bull, so maybe not so much for Yuki, I'm afraid, but I mean, if Ocon and Sainz fancy the crack at Le Mans next season, depending on what Haas and Williams want to do with them, then they could always go straight to endurance racing. Although it has to be said, endurance Porsche teams, BMWs, you name it, they've got, I mean, even the so-called silver-plated drivers are pretty decent now. Phil Hansen at AF Horse is a decent driver in his own right, despite not being fully professional, since he is a pay driver. And truth be told, I think I'd probably fancy Phil Hansen beating Lance Stroll if they ever were to race in the same series. Albon pits. Good grief, this has been a race from hell for Alex Albon today. I don't know what did he. Oh yeah, he went off the road earlier on in the race, so yeah, I think he's got car damage, and of course he also suffered losing his engine cover early on yesterday. Oh no, Albon stopped. Albon stopped on track. Albon's car is done. Is he? Oh no, he's parked up at the exit of the hairpin, and it looks like some of the cars are having to slow down to navigate past him. Are we going to get a virtual safety car? Alex Albon has retired, that's official, but his car is stuck at the hairpin. Oh, the marshals have pushed his car behind the circuit wall, though. So it looks like we will not get a safety car at all. Lance Stroll has been given a 5-second penalty. To be fair, if Lance Stroll was not in my chat, he probably would tell us how great the Club World Cup is, and I would probably have to give him like an hour worth of penalty points. Lance Stroll getting a 10-second penalty at his home track. How sweet karma can be, eh? And Hulkenberg has overtaken Tsunoda, who of course Hulkenberg's pitted, but Tsunoda still has not. God, this has been a dismal race yet again for Yuki, and I have to say, it's looking ominous for Yuki Tsunoda at Red Bull. And we have 21 laps remaining of a fairly dull race, to be honest, but that's life. Norris comes out behind his teammate. Leclerc provisionally is the race leader, but Russell looks like he's on course to get his first win of the season, unless we get a safety car, which would save Leclerc's backside. Which, of course, Leclerc then would win his first race of the season. Just 21 laps of a fairly mundane race to go. Oh, right. Albon's power unit issue is back again. Oh, no. Good grief. Looks like we're going to get an Antonelli penalty. A Kimi Antonelli podium for the first time in Formula 1. I beg your pardon. Verstappen is going to be under pressure again. And what would he do this time to Antonelli if Antonelli can close up to the rear of that Red Bull? It will be interesting to see how defensive Verstappen gets under pressure. But one thing is looking for certain is that we're not going to get McLaren on the podium today in a race where McLaren struggled in FP1, FP2, failed to get pole position, and on top of that, Piastri nor Norris looked that quick either here. And that's new fastest lap. Norris gets under a 1 minute 14.5. He's both Piastri and Norris have gone half a second quicker than everyone else's fastest laps, weirdly enough, but yet they're down in 5th and 6th, which is a very worrying for McLaren. Very unfortunate. Oh, God, this race. Come on. I can't wait for the checkered flag. Let's look at the lap times of the guys down the order. Tsunoda's best lap is a 16.7. Good grief, Tsunoda. I mean, of course, obviously, Tsunoda's now done 51 laps on the Haas, but I don't know. Is it really worth it? I mean, he's now 56 seconds behind Max. Hulkenberg's best lap, 15.98. My God, Hulkenberg is destroying Tsunoda in a Sauber. Oh, no, that's horrible. Even Ocon and Sainz have done faster laps than Tsunoda, which is really concerning. Alonso, well, he's done a 15.9, his fastest lap. And, of course, you got Colapinto and Gasly, who themselves have gone... what's wrong with rice cakes? I like rice cakes. But anyway, Colapinto and Gasly have both done a 16.2 and a 16.4 respectively. God, Tsunoda's pace absolutely sucks, to be honest. Hajar, 16.3. Bortoletto, oh! Okay, Bortoletto's done a 15.978, which is only a tenth. Only 2 tenths, so he did his teammate Hulkenberg. So even Lawson has done a fastest best lap with a 16.333. Okay, fair enough. Stroll 16.2. Even the window licker has done a better fastest lap than Tsunoda. That's I don't know. I don't get what Red Bull's strategy with Tsunoda is today because he's out of the point as well, which is it's just not working, is it, for Yuki? It's just not working for Yuki. Piastri might get third yet. He's closing in on Antonelli, but Antonelli has set a personal best of a 14.75. So Antonelli is responded to Piastri's pressure. 17 laps to go. Ocon and Sainz need to pit at some point. I don't know how long they're going to stay out of these hard tyres. They're doing a superb job, mind you. But if they were to pit, yeah, they would come out behind Isaac Hadjar and somewhere around where Pierre Gasly is and possibly get lapped. Gasly pits, he's getting lapped. Miserable weekend for Gasly again. Oh, jeez. And that's now 4 cars that have been lapped. Stroll goes down to last place. Why did he come back for this weekend? I have no idea. What a waste of a seat that is. Okay, fair enough. He's slapping Alonso 14 points to 2 in the driver's standings, but at no point have I ever seen Lance Stroll look like he ever wanted to be in F1 at any point in his career since 2017. So Antonelli has done the same thing as well. He's got a good exit. And it's just a little bit too big. 16 laps to go, everyone. 15 laps to go. Piastri still cannot get past Antonelli. Piastri looking like he can pull one off to the inside. He sends one to the inside. Antonelli sees it coming. Great defensive move there by Antonelli to keep Piastri behind him. Great racecraft from the 18-year-old Italian. Oh, well, hello there. Lawson's out of race, thank you. For another bot to ban. Somehow they keep getting banned despite not mentioning the FIFA Harambo garbage. What happened? Oh no, what happened there? Oh no, I've got an even bigger problem than the bots. Yeah. Alright, here we go then. Oh, you're kidding me. He's got DRS once again, but he's just a little bit too. Can we get it working? Yes, we can. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. In fact, helping him out actually, giving him a good grief. Hulkenberg is back in the points after. What's happened there? Who pitted? I'm trying to see. Was it? Oh, it was Alonso pitted 6 laps ago. Oh, Gasly pitted. Bottas pitted 6 laps ago. Oh, and Hulkenberg's overtaken Sainz. That's insane. Once again, Hulkenberg making up places late on in a race. And now he's only got Ocon 4 seconds up the road to overtake. More points coming for Sauber. Of course, say it, Hulkenberg has done more in 9 races than what Bottas and Zhou did in 70 races at Sauber. Yeah, 70 races at Sauber. That is horrible reading, but Hulkenberg is the most ginormous upgrade on Bottas and Zhou Sauber could have ever had. What a driver Hulkenberg is. My goodness me. What? Just imagine Hulkenberg in a top car, eh? Hulkenberg actually giving us a bit of entertainment later on because, well, I mean, they are sponsored by Steak, so with Hulkenberg at the wheel, they've finally got some chips to steak with at last. Russell just lapping cars there. Russell's now just 1.5 seconds ahead of Maximilian Verstappen. Max Verstappen has done very well today in terms of getting points on the board in the championship fight. Of course, as it stands, he'll be closing the gap between himself and Piastri to 43 points. Norris still has the fastest lap of a 14.2. Alonso over Ocon and Sainz have pitted, and they're they're both now a lap down. Oof. Got 12 laps remaining, everybody. Eleven laps now. Russell. Look at that. Alonso and Ocon will be in the points. Thank you for 3 likes here at Crystal Racing. Pinto gets overtaken by Sainz. Sainz is now out of the points, but Hulkenberg, what a performance Hulkenberg has produced yet again. What an amazing driver that guy is. You know what? I would put Hulkenberg in my top 5 drivers for this season. Ahead of the likes of Albon and Norris and Hamilton and maybe a couple of others I could think of. God, can Russell hold on for the win? He's got 2 seconds in his pocket against Max. Oh God, Piastri's under pressure from Lando. As Hamilton is now 40 seconds off the leaders and he's in no man's land yet again. If we had the fastest lap point, I can guarantee you Hamilton would probably pit late on to get the fastest lap. But of course, because we don't have that rule in place anymore, Hamilton is just going to creep his way to the finish line over 20 seconds behind his teammate instead. Alonso is trying to give heat to Hulkenberg in front of him. Aloda, Samina, Perez. Welcome to Crystal Racing. And it's a purple sector 1 for Russell. 10 laps to go. Average sector 2 for Russell. Hulkenberg still under pressure from Alonso's Aston Martin, and they are the 2 last cars on the lead lap. I mean, we talk about how much closer Formula 1 is, but it looks like today only 9 cars will finish on the lead lap. The backmarkers are really struggling with their cars outside of Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren, and Ferrari. Although, well, I don't know where Red Bull really are in the pecking order, since, of course, Tsunoda is the polar opposite of Verstappen. Tsunoda's now stuck down in P15, stuck behind Pinto and Hadjar. Pinto once again holding up people because And as for Gasly, Gasly's going to be really, really embarrassed by his performance. Not a good race again by Gasly. And I have to say, I am running out of excuses. And of course, yeah, Lawson retired. I beg your pardon. I forgot to mention him. But I honestly couldn't give a flying toss about Lawson, to be honest. Alonso has overtaken Hulkenberg for P8. Yes, that's confirmed. Coming out of the chicane. We've got 8 laps to go. We've only got 8 laps to go now. This has been such a thrilling Grand Prix. It's been so thrilling that I don't even know what the next race is. Where's it being held? Is it? I don't know. Please remind me, someone in the chat, because my memory is lost on me. The air temperature is 24.9 degrees Celsius. The track temperature is 49.5 degrees Celsius. The wind speed is less than a kilometer north. Humidity is 27%. Austria, thank you very much, John. That's what I thought it was. Purple Sector 1, Purple Sector 2 for the race leader, Russell. Building the gap over Verstappen now. Fastest lap was held by Norris, but we will see. Can Russell, can he get it on my timing screen? I'm about 30 seconds behind you. It's a new fastest lap. Russell 14.119. Verstappen is powerless to challenge Georgius Russellius. It appears to be, this may be an insurmountable task for Verstappen to challenge the British driver from Norfolk, but Antonelli is on course for his first ever podium in Formula One, but he needs to make sure those 2 McLarens do not overtake him. Will F1 will be rubbing his hands with glee, knowing that his agenda against the McLaren boys is being proven correct. Meanwhile, Hamilton is having an even more boring race than the rest of us watching, because he's nowhere near close to even lapping Stroll right now. And he's got a 25-second buffer over his old friend Fernando Alonso. And Alonso sets a new personal best of a 15.0. But he cannot seem to be able to pull away from Hulkenberg. But of course, both drivers will be getting lapped in about the next 3 or 4 laps, with the race leader now on their tail. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, this race is making me... Peter Brook ranked this track the 12th greatest racetrack of all time. Oh dear, Peter Brook. He has some interesting takes there. Our dear friend from Peter Brook. Another Sebastian Vettel fan, by the way. It does seem to be a lot of Sebastian Vettel fans were born in like the late 90s and the early 2000s. I mean, your favourite drivers are always the one that make a good impression on you between the ages of like 5 to about 15 years old. Which sums up why I ended up supporting who I did. I know there were many others who also supported Alonso, but for me, Fernando Alonso just looked like he was Flavio Briatore's golden child more than anything else. Bottas also starting 15th. We've got no changes to the order. It is... Oh, jeez. I mean, Leclerc's now getting a bit lonely himself in the other Ferrari in front of Hamilton. But, of course, There's a bunch of gaggle of lap cars behind Leclerc now. Such is how slow Tsunoda, Colapinto, Bottas, Gasly, and Hadjar and Stroll have all been. This is crazy. I mean, Stroll has a fastest personal best of a 14.9. What's happened there? Oh, Norris has overtaken Piastri, did he? Oh, but Piastri retakes P4. God, we've got a bit of drama at McLaren. Oh, but Norris retakes position. Oh, and Norris has bottled it again into the chicane. Oh my. Piastri must be chuckling behind his visor. Oh my god, Norris is out. Oh my god, Norris has crashed that turn one. Oh my lord. I mean, as long as I have a hole in my face and a hole in my buttocks, Lando Norris will never become an F1 World Champion. Which, funnily enough, is the same thing that former Lotus boss Peter War said of Nigel Mansell when he was the Lotus team principal, or whatever the hell his name was. Yes, I know, say, you don't need to remind us. And of course, yes, the safety car has come to everyone's rescue. Probably about 20 laps too late for the likes of Norris and Leclerc to take advantage in race position, but yeah. That means that Carlos Sainz will be scoring a point today, as long as, of course, we don't get an early red flag. And I think with just 3 laps remaining, I think we're going to end the race behind the safety car. I think it's a good time to do some race driver ratings, shall we? Yeah, Norris can absolutely sod off all I care. The championship fight is between Piastri and Verstappen again. Forget about the guy in P2. He's done for in the driver's standings. He's getting the number 2 role. Russell, A star for his performance. Took the lead at the start of the race, controlled the pace rail, never cracked under pressure. Fantastic job. And of course, took pole position for the second year in a row here at Canada. P2 Verstappen, I'll give him an A grade. Very solid performance again with Max, and this time he didn't do anything stupid. Antonelli gets an A grade from me. Great maiden podium in Formula 1. Oh dear, that's hilarious. Shockingly bad racecraft from Lando. Yeah, I think Lando can only well, I swear there'll be some Lando Norris nutcase that will pretend that Piastri deliberately turfed him off, or he's the victim of bad luck again. Piastri, no, he gets a B minus. Yeah, he stays in the championship lead. He stays in front of. He'll extend his championship lead over Lando to about 20 odd points, but his lead between himself and Verstappen has got to 43 points. But damning reputation done well by the Australian. 5th place, Leclerc, B grade, decent enough drive for Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton, C grade. Nah. Just awful, really. Not good enough by Hamilton. Alonso, P7. Will F1 will be delighted to hear that I'm giving him an A grade. Great performance by Fernando, blah, 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 blah. And that means that he gets 6 points for this weekend, meaning that he's already closing the gap between himself and Stroll in the driver's standings. Hulkenberg, 8th place, A star, outstanding performance in that Sauber again. Unbelievable drive by Nico Hulkenberg. Get that man a top seat, for crying out loud. I know he's 38 years old, but come on. So good again at Sauber. 9th place, Ocon. I'm going to have to give him a good grade, haven't I? A minus, good drive by Ocon, but a terrible qualifying performance. Oh. 10th place, Sainz. Got knocked down Q1. I'll give him a B- for snatching a point at the end of the race. Well done. Behrman, C grade. Tsunoda, D grade. Shockingly slow again for Red Bull. Colapinto, give him a C+. Bottas, C-. Gasly, D grade, not good enough. And qualified last. Shocking performance by Gasly. He should do better. Hadjar, C-. Probably his worst weekend of the season so far, but he is still a promising young talent. Stroll, it's an F for me. Get that guy out of the sport. Norris, it's an F for me, and he's going to be the reject of the day for that preposterous attempt at overtaking Piastri there. Rule number 1 of F1 racing: never try and overtake your teammate in a dangerous spot. 19th, Lawson, D grade, get out of my sport. And 20th place, Albon. I don't know, D grade, because he went off the road, damaged his car, and then of course had to retire. So as much as Albon's been very good this season, today's not been a good day for Alex at all. Oh, goodbye to Lando Norris. I was getting confused, but I will be taking comments. Yeah, we're going to end the race behind the safety car, folks. Pretty boring race. I think this race has deserved to have a safety car finish, because let's be honest, it's not been very entertaining, apart from Lando Norris being a bozo. What the hell was Lando Norris thinking of? I wonder what Zach Brown is going to say in front of those cameras. Mercedes rise back up to second place in the constructor standings. Russell, it closes the gap in fourth place in the driver standings, so whatever it is it 60 points behind? I have no idea. Oh yes, the race is finished, so yeah, as you predicted. Kimi Antonelli gets his first ever podium in Formula 1. GG to the 18-year-old Italian. But unfortunately, though, he only becomes the second youngest rookie to take a podium in Formula 1, because Lance Stroll holds the record back in 2017. But nonetheless, an excellent performance from a potential world champion there, Kimi Antonelli. And the team will get to celebrate a double podium for what is their first race win of the season here for Mercedes-Benz AMG. Congratulations, Kimi. Let's give him a round of applause to Kimi Antonelli. Congratulations, Andrea. Great job. Well done, guys. Well done. Hope this is the first of many podiums for Kimi Antonelli. And of course, we all know Ron Dennis said, let's hope this is the first of many wins to Heikki Kovalainen at the 2008 Hungarian Grand Prix. And he never won again. So let's hope I didn't curse Antonelli there. Thank you for 4 likes here at Crystal Racing. So, yeah. Wait, you're saying that Verstappen could have overtaken Russell behind the safety car? Wow, that's a bit bold. Don't know, mate. What do you mean? Like, could have... I mean, maybe could have Russell pitted and Verstappen stayed out? I don't know. Yeah, well, I think Lando Norris has got to take responsibility for his errors because it's just not good enough for Lando Norris, I'm afraid. He had the full backing of the team last season for the championship fight and bottled the championship with 2 races ago, and this time he's going to bottle the championship to his own teammate. So, thank you for 4 likes here at Crystal Racing. It's been a pleasure doing this stream with you as always, despite not having the most entertaining race, but I don't know what to say, so maybe I could end the stream now. I mean, if you want anything to say, please say it, but, you know, this has been Crystal Racing. This is the race order. For those of you wondering what happened to Lando Norris, he crashed out with 4 laps to go, and he forced the safety car to come out, and that means that it's no points for Lando. Yes, I agree with you, Leo Heggie. Welcome to Crystal Racing. It was such an unnecessary overtake, but you can just sense Lando Norris feels like his superiority is slipping at McLaren. He feels like he needs to reassert his authority at the team, but I think he might have waved goodbye to any chances of putting himself back in the championship fight against Piastri. And I've said it many times about Norris. His racecraft and his mentality is just not good enough. It's just not good enough, and I think... Jeez. I don't know why. Desperate. Really desperate from Norris. You can feel like... I don't know what it is, mate. Norris just doesn't have it in his head to be like a really... like an outright top driver in this sport, making mistakes like that. It's not like, you know, he's like... You know, going into this race, I think he was only 10 points behind Piastri. Like, that's less than half of what a race win is worth in F1, which is 25 points. So it's not like, you know, falling 3 points behind Piastri is a disaster of any sort. You know, there's still another 15 races to go. I don't get it. Why did he do it? Why did he do it? Just not good enough. Very sad, but that's the brutal truth. What a shame. What a shame. For Lando Norris. Feels like a Piastri win. Okay, yeah, I know what you mean, because of course Piastri, instead of being 13 points in front of Norris, is now going to be 22 points in front of Norris from what I believe. I'm going to check the driver standings. Let me just read it out for those of you wondering. Just so you know, I just saw why obviously number 17 is not permitted in F1. It's because George Bianchi lost his life driving car number 17 in 2014 Japanese Grand Prix. And this is the driver standings. Yes, of course, I am correct. So that's going to be Piastri up to 198 points for the championship. Max Lando is stuck on 176 points. Verstappen goes up to 155 points. and he closes the gap to Piastri by just 43 points, and he's now only 21 points on Lando Norris's heels. Race winner George Russell now has 136 points, and he now lies just 62 points behind Oscar Piastri in the driver's standings. And Charles Leclerc breaks the century mark with 104 points for the season, whilst Hamilton now has 79 points for the season, having scored points in every race except for China, where he was disqualified, but he still has no podiums. And Kimi Antonelli now goes up to 63 points for the season, making sure, putting way clear of Alex Albon in the driver's standing to, of course, Alex Albon retires for a second consecutive race in a row this season. Oh, what a remarkable race. And, of course, the constructor standings. McLaren remain out miles out in front with 374 points. Mercedes returned to second place after getting 40 points with Russell and Antonelli. Now they're up to 199 points. Ferrari have 183 points in third place, and they fall 16 points behind Mercedes. Red Bull now have 162 points, most of which have come from Max Verstappen, and they remain very much stuck in fourth place. Williams remain in fifth place with 55 points, thanks to a point from Sainz. And for the other teams, let me just calculate. Haas Racing Bulls remain in sixth place with 28 points. Haas. Actually, no, I am incorrect. Haas have now risen to sixth place thanks to Ocon getting 2 points today. They have 28 points, just like Racing Bulls, but Ocon's finished a fifth at China. Means that they rise to sixth on count back, ahead of Racing Bulls, who fall to seventh. And as for Aston Martin, they will now take 8th place because Alonso beat Hulkenberg on the road. So that's 22 points for the Aston Martin Aramco Mercedes team. And Kick Sauber will drop to 9th with 20 points. And Alpine remain at the foot of the table with only 11 points for the season. Well, remarkable stuff. And of course, if you want to comment, please comment, but otherwise I will end the stream because thank you for commenting, Leo Heggie. If you don't have anything else to say, I think I'm going to stop because I don't know what else to say. Norris is a bottle job. I'm sorry, say. I warned you before, and I warned you multiple times. The guy has not got it mentally up there to win a world championship. He's not that guy, mate. He's the British Rubens Barrichello. Talented driver, but weak mentality, so